Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel. I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering Single Taken Other. It is a black web series that is currently airing on YouTube. I do have the YouTube link down below. If you have not been looking at my other reviews, stop. First, I need you to watch the show. So the link is in my comments or in my description of this video. So go over there, support them. And these are black filmmakers and writers. I love it. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video and also subscribe to my channel and leave your comments below. All right, so this is episode 7, season 1, and it's also the season finale. All right, and the title of this episode is I Want You Around. Now, after watching the episode, that's quite interesting statement or for an episode for what I know that happened, and hopefully you guys did watch. We start off with Monica and Paul. They're in the office, and I think they're working on something, but at the same time, getting closer and getting to know one another. You see Paul's interest in Monica and how into her that he has been all this time. And it looks like Monica's really liking it. They're talking over things that are kind of silly about brunch. He's talking about, he thinks that brunch was made up by women just to go drink mimosas. He thinks that's kind of a weak drink or whatever. Taryn, she's internalizing what happened between her and Josh in last week's episode. She says that I did not mean to offend him. I just wanted to lighten the mood. However, she finally sees it. If it was the shoe was on the other foot, she would not be happy. Because look, we know guys are going to try it. That's stereotypically what a lot of guys will do. You will lift up a standard or a boundary, and he's going to do whatever he can to tiptoe his way past that boundary to get you to do something or to fold onto something that you already previously said no to. And that's not fair, and that's not right. You know, so I'm glad a woman can also, I like it. I like flawed women, flawed characters, because it's like, why just play solely into stereotypes? Let's see it from another perspective. Let's see how women can cross boundaries. Let's see how women aren't as, how can I say this? Will tell you that they want something out of you, but don't know how to respect that. Respect that same thing. It's like, how can I say this? Do women respect men in the same way that they want to be respected? Royce and Joy, we go back to the office and they are too busy flirting and touching and rubbing, and the boss comes in. The Arrow project, after he spoke with a bunch of executives or marketing team, I think it was, they're moving forward with the marketing plan that Royce and Joy did come up with. He's assigned Royce to a certain part of the project and Joy to another part of the project, so congratulations. So the hater co-worker congratulates Royce and asks, anyone he's thinking about adding to his team. He said, Royce basically said, I'm just in the moment of finding out that I'm going to be doing this. So no, I haven't. So the hater says, what about an agreement between us? I want to be your number 2 guy. And Royce is like, you are out of your mind. Why would you think that I would do that? So he brings out his phone, and it looks like the dude has been recording Royce and Joy kissing, hugging, fraternizing on company territory. And basically, you're going to make me your number 2 guy. I can't move you out of the position that I really want, so I'm going to come in. See, he's the type of dude or person that would, even being the number 2 is not enough. He'll find a way to knock Royce out of that position. He just can't do it now. He's got to be a lot more slick and clever. Eventually, I believe the dude's going to show the tape, because that's just how gutter snipe he is. So Royce, you've been caught. I don't understand why you and her did not take more extra precaution. Joy, you know that's your dad. Like, that is so weird to me that you would do that in the office, of all places. Not careful at all. Gary and Kara, they finally meet up from the other day when Kara walked out on him, when things got mushy and gushy, because that's just not the person that she is. Gary apologizes and says, hey, I wasn't trying to offend you. I was trying to get to know you. And Kara says, thanks. I used to be all lovey-dovey, all in, and basically I got tired of getting my feelings hurt. So she decided that she was going to do her. If men could do it, I can do it better. It has been her mentality and philosophy on life and what she was going to do. Until you came along. Remember those walls we built? They all came tumbling down. That's what happens. All right, Gary. Do what you got to do. Come on, Gary. But she says, I like you. And Gary said, I like you too. And Gary expresses, I want to take it slow so that we know how we feel about each other. And he goes over the conversation of when we actually do the do. I want it to be because of how we feel and not because it's an action to do. And the Kara's like, wait, you know that you can say sex. He's like, yeah, I do. But how I say it sounds better. Obviously, Kara thinks that this dude's corny, but at the same time is really liking his vibe. So go ahead, Richie Cunningham. Or Carlton Banks. All right, so we move on to Taryn and Josh. Well, at least Taryn. She's at church and she does not see Josh. And she was thinking that she would be able to talk to Josh, because I think there was a scene earlier where, or maybe I'm moving ahead of myself. I'll say it in just a few minutes. So church is over. Josh didn't make it. So then Taryn goes and talks to the pastor. She wants to ask a question. What do you do if you are, I'm paraphrasing, linked with someone that has different beliefs or different standards than you, or their faith is different? Because what I have been feeling is kind of like a bad Christian, because, or I don't think she put herself into it, but it's like, I'm at a state of seeing this person at a higher height in the different disciplines that they have, and I'm feeling like a bad Christian. And then at the same time, I'm seeing where he wants to go with God. Why am I not convicted enough to at least striving for what he's doing? And the pastor says, what did God call you to do? Because basically how Josh is living his life is how he has to do. He knows his triggers. He knows what can set him back. And he's living a disciplined life. That's a man. That is a man of God. That is stable. He doesn't allow people to sway him. Of course, it's tempting. But I need to go this certain direction for me so that I don't fall back into what had a grip on me. And he says, do what you have to do in your walk with Christ. Meet them where they are, whether you're up here or down there. Don't push people away who are challenging you to do better. I think that's some of the best advice ever. Like, I don't think everybody has this arrogant attitude and think that they're better. I don't think all Christians are like that. It's just some people may feel intimidated because it's like, I don't know if I can really get there or reach there. And if they don't have that arrogancy, they're going to be patient with you and not just throw you to, not the wolves, but throw you out with the trash because you don't think like I think. That's not Christian-like at all. If God is patient with us, hello, grace and mercy, that we receive every day, he's patient with us. Now there comes a time where he won't be patient with us, but he's patient with us. And he works with us daily with his Holy Spirit. So, okay, so after that, Taryn goes home and she's wanting to text Josh. She doesn't know what really to say, so she keeps typing out stuff and erasing it. So the next day is Kara's event. Gary and Kara, they are flirting low-key. Of course, the other people can see it. It's those subtle things that they kind of just do to one another. On the flip side, Brittany, and I forgot the dude's name, or do I know it? I'll call him Helper. Okay. And Joan, they're meeting because they went to go and represent themselves with the Styles as far as them working together now and dropping all egos. Joan says that she likes it. She sees it's an edgy look, but unfortunately they hired another stylist. Now dude gets upset and says, why did you set up this meeting then? I would think that also, but he calms himself down after Joan gives him that look like, nigga. She says, I appreciate what you guys have done. I'm glad that you guys have worked out whatever. You've been rejected, and if this did not happen to you, you would not learn how to work together and set aside your differences. And then the dude says, we hope that we have not burned our chances in the future. And Joan says, you know what? Life is about second chances. I'm going to put you in the roster for my go-to stylist for in the future. They are conditional. You guys have got to continue to work together and not do this whole ego trip or whatever you guys had going on before. So they thank Joan. And then later the dude is asking, you want to go out for a victory drink. Brittany's not really feeling that because she is focusing on herself. All right, so back at the event, Taryn is asking Monica about the project, and she says, everything's going well. And basically, Paul saved it all. And they're going on their first date tonight. That's what we love to see, Monica. Brittany comes, and she gives her an update on what happened with Joan. They're excited for her. And I think that's well, obviously, that there was something Joan sees within them and did not write them off. Taryn sees Josh. She goes over to Josh and wants to clear the air. She apologizes for crossing his boundaries. And I think Josh is accepted, and he says, we can talk later. And then here comes Royce. Of course, Brittany's annoyed right away and says, hey, I'm going to get some ice cream. Anyone want some? Taryn puts in her order for a milkshake. Then Royce tries to put in his order, and Brittany cuts him off. And basically, she's ready to go. Kara's like, you know what? You two just need to go sleep together. I said, so Kara, you don't know yet? Or you just playing around? Whatever. So Gary comes over and says that the water that they were going to have for the event has fell out of the truck or spilt out of the truck. So Kara has asked for Gary and also Royce's help. But we cut to a scene where Royce runs off to Brittany and he wants to talk. And Brittany's like, don't you need to be with your girlfriend? And then Royce was like, she's not my girlfriend, da 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 da. It's like, that's something different from what I've seen in all of the clips and the photos. So really quit bullshitting me, So and Brittany's like, we really need to stop all of this. And all of a sudden Royce says, but I love you. You love me? So let's be together out in the open, as Brittany does say. Don't treat me like no roach. And that's how it has been. And I kind of wish we had seen this earlier from Brittany, at least putting some type of demand on the relationship, because it seemed like she was still comfortable until she found out that someone else was possibly involved with Royce. And she didn't like that. It's like she does say something that's kind of like, could that go for you too? What was it? But basically she says, you don't love me, you just don't want to lose me. It's just like, she's a possession to him or something into that nature. But isn't that kind of like how you were too, Brittany? Because you were comfortable in what you were doing, but never put a definition on what was going on between you two. But now you're mad that he has someone else on the side. It's like, at least you weren't making him make a choice between. I commend you on that, because I just thought of that. You did not be one of those pick-me's that tried to make him choose. Let him go and do whatever he's going to do. I guess I'll give my analysis of what I feel will happen in the future at the end of this episode. But basically she walks off because, no, we're done. So we move back to Taryn and Monica. We see that Taryn has spotted something, and she's questioning Monica. So Monica, are you totally over Nick? And she's like, yeah. So you'll be okay if you run into him. It's not preferred, but I am not God. And then Taryn says, well, there's Nick with this girl. Immediately, that triggers Monica. And then she goes over to Kara, trying to question her as to why you have invited Nick. And Kara gets her together and reads her down, saying, one, look, this is a community event. I invited the community. I don't know what Nick has going on as to why he is here, but obviously someone I reached out to sent him. And it's not about you. And Kara goes on and does what she needs to do. She's like, I ain't studying you and whatever you got going on with this dude. You said that you were over him, and now you're... No. All right, so later on, Taryn and I think Monica also left too. Taryn and Josh, they meet up at the coffee bar. Taryn feels like it's back to the way that they were, like a Barbra Streisand song. Taryn explains herself a little bit more. She says that, I was uncomfortable by how your walk with Christ. However, it does make me want to do more than what I have been doing for my life. And then Josh does something she was not expecting. And he says that, I don't think that we are a great match. Say what? I thought we were getting back into our groove again. And now you hit me with that one too. What's going on? And basically, it's like, how he broke it down is you really don't know what you want as of yet. I don't want you to be hindered by my walk just to try to fit in with me like that. And we can be friends. Taryn was heartbroken because she's like, I do have a great guy, and now what's wrong with me type of how she was feeling. I feel like, well, I'm going to say something in just a minute. I keep going ahead of myself, sorry. So, in the next scene, Monica and Nick comes by Monica's home. All of a sudden, now he sees her, and now he gotta know what she's up to. Monica's getting ready for her date and just waiting for her date to come. Nick comes in and says that he has accepted a position as coach for basketball. Monica celebrates him and glad that he's found something that he could be passionate about. And then Nick starts with the manipulation with, I felt bad that I couldn't tell you. Share the news with you. That's what it was. And first Monica's putting up a fight. And then all of a sudden he goes into this whole, you don't miss me at all? I said, Lord Jesus. So he leans into Monica and he kisses her. Before he does that, though, she escorts him out, trying to escort him out of the house. As she opens the door, he gives her one kiss. She shuts the door, and the cycle continues again. Monica, your date is on the way. And you decide to take this dude that as soon as he gets up from you, is going right back to this woman. Paul, don't ever take her back. No. She don't deserve you. No. She got some stuff to work out inside of herself. Her self-confidence is one thing. To sit up here and go back to this man who only took one look at you and was ready to come back to you to have sex with you, who's going to expect you to cook him breakfast, and then he's going to go on his merry way, that told you that you were first priority, and then veered off the second another woman came into his focus. All right, so I love Gary and Kara. I love what's developing between them. Keep it up. Brittany and Royce, honestly, I don't think it's over. My gut feeling, hopefully she's not the pick-me, but I don't feel like it's the end, even though I'm very disappointed in Royce. I think he has some growing up to do. And whatever he got on with Joy, I mean, it's not going to last. Obviously, at some point, his job is going to be threatened, especially if he keeps it up with Joy. Monica, I'm sorry. I'm not saying you're not deserving of love. I think you need to choose you and really find out you, because you're going to hurt some people along with being hurt by others, because that's not cool what you did to Paul. Now, Paul, at this moment, we don't know what happened, if he's going to find out about it right away or not, but I'm sure you're going to give him the cold shoulder when the time is right, and I don't think that's cool. Yeah, again, Paul, no, she don't deserve you. Taryn, Josh made the right choice. It's not a bad thing, per se. He knows where he is in his walk, and he also wants to make sure you're doing it for you. And don't get so caught up, because I kind of feel like Taryn is doing what she can to fit into Josh's world, which can be kind of crazy, because it's like, no, you need to know what you want and stop trying to just meet somebody else's standards to be with someone. Figure out who you are. So there's a few of the cast that needs to figure out who they are, even Royce. But I really love this show. I love the different perspectives. Thank you for not being so stereotypical, giving us a different point of view, and allowing us to evaluate possibly things in our lives. Cap Sheet Productions, I think you have a winner on your hands. Keep up the good work. I can't wait for season 2. Thank you for allowing us to go on this journey with you. And until we meet again, I'll be back with a new series on next week. So stay tuned. Thank you for coming to my channel, and thank you for wanting to be a part of it. And please subscribe to my channel and like this video. Until the next one, peace.